promotion, interview, spotlight, collaboration, live performance, fan Q&A, history, mainstream. Get all that
on Meli Melo Atlanta Show.
Bonsoir tout le monde, Orly la rivière, New Et actuellement, à Atlanta, je devrais dire que à chaque fois, là, il y a un show que je connais qui fait des positif, c'est Meli Melo show. Depuis là, c'est show ça me garde. C'est lui me supporter, alors me conseiller nous faire même bagarre là. Meli Melo, c'est où bon bagarre.
Meli Melo show lié depuis Dieu chou li vin Atlanta, c'est lui toujours garder même le New York et lui toujours supporter, ça son bel show, moun yo sérieux, en pile moun attendel à supporter show ça, tout fanatique. Meli Melo show dans Atlanta.
The city waited all year for an event like this. Atlanta, this Father's Day weekend. Vision Entertainment presents the official all-white affair. Performing live. Vibe is back in Atlanta for a Father's Day performance you can't miss. Also in the house, it's Crayola. T-Show is back. Father's Day weekend on White Affair, Saturday, June 14th at Essence Venue, 5439 Riverdale Road, as we celebrate Junior Design Birthday Bash. Crayola and Vibe with music by DJ Dr. Sound and DJ Massive. Saturday, June 14th at Essence Venue, sponsored by Traffic Pain. Tickets are on sale at yovibe.com. For info and VIP, call 678-777-4265 or 908-380-72.
Martine, montez! Regarde son jeune garçon qui a un plan en Haïti pour le faire banane.
René, sous ça de kounya là, mon bon régime banane.
Combien de fou? Parlez fort pour mon entendre. 15 pi.
Loyo balé!
Moi pas qu'à connaître après bon Dieu. Qu'il y a un monde qui a plus pouvoir que moi dans le pays ça. C'est moi-même qui suis président.
Parce que, et bon Dieu le dit,
nous pas voulons rater, vois ça.
Nous assassiner le président. Nous emprisonner le président, nous exiler le président. Mais on ne donne qu'aucun président qui coquine à gauche nous.
Je vais vous dire, je vais vous gâter pour nous.
Nous vivons dans un pays noir. Blanc, indirectement, c'est lui qui a le pouvoir.
Pour foutre Maxi.
You don't know how much damage you can do with those documents.
On ne peut jamais dire qui commet aucun crime en Haïti. On dirait que vous faites exprès pour le passer dans l'Atlantique.
Respect pour vous.
Respect pour vos petites filles.
Don't play this game with me. You don't give a damn about the death of your president.
Nous voulons, mais, sous mon traite qui va nous aider.
Soit venu chercher, la difficile en pile, oui, pour joindre.
Vous comptez venir chercher?
Vérité, sous le mot président.
Fan de la musique haïtienne, sit back and relax. Meli Melo Show a informé de tout ça qu'a fait dans HMI là. Music, analyse, actualité, promotion, interview, spotlight, collaboration, live performance, fan Q&A, history, mainstream. Get all that
on Meli Melo Atlanta Show.
Bonsoir, chers amis de Meli Melo. Je dis tout le monde bonsoir, mais j'espère que nous te passons un bon week-end. Et je dis joyeuse fête des mères à tout le monde qui était passé une bonne fête des mères hier dimanche là. Et je souhaitais que tout le monde t'ait amusé au bien, tout le monde passe une belle fête des mères. Et nous avons un peu de monde là que je connais véritablement qui passe une belle fête des mères yesterday. En tout cas, Nabdou, bonsoir, merci parce que ou sous show là, ou sous Meli Melo, n'a demandé pour partager l'écran, pour poser questions. Je dis non, ça pas rien là, je dis là, dans mon les radio pour poser questions, pour nous interagir ensemble avec nous. Et show jeudi à son show qui est vraiment intéressant. Je nous connais Meli Melo toujours porter un paquet d'informations pour vous. Nous toujours porter aux connaissances émission d'éducation, des formations et tout ça. Jeudi à la et partenaire Boubloule pas qu'à arriver, il pas qu'à faire choix jeudi là parce que il passé nous sentit bien en tout cas et moi-même Rupipa moi là pour m'amener bac là pour m'amener Meli Melo à bon port. Et nous avons dit que nous allons commencer la première partie là avec Madame Martine Claude et Sabine Apollon et puis Elisabeth Hendrix. C'est ça? Bonsoir et bienvenue sur Meli Melo. Et première partie, ça, c'est l'introduction. On a dit tout le monde que nous allons prendre un petit break dans quelques minutes pour nous make sure que tout le monde là, tout le monde paraît et pour m'ba autant tout, pour profiter, partager choix, pour profiter de les mounions faire qu'on connaît que Meli Melo on toujours dit là. Alors, bonsoir tout le monde, à tout à l'heure, dans un petit show publicitaire. Merci.
Have you ever found yourself embarking on a new construction or renovation project, only to feel overwhelmed by the lack of expertise and time to manage it effectively? The solution you've been seeking is right here. I am Sabine Apollon, the founder and CEO of Aniba Consulting, with over 2 decades of experience in design, construction, and commercial real estate. I'm your dedicated partner in success. I'll assist you in identifying and navigating the intricate details of your project, dealing with local jurisdictions, coordinating with general contractors and subcontractors, even managing schedules and budgets. It all can become daunting and time-consuming. At Aniba Consulting, we specialize in making projects small or complex, manageable, and stress-free. We act as your advocates throughout the entire process, safeguarding both your financial and personal interests. Helping you deliver your perfect project is our top priority. Together, we will bring your vision to life.
Employee lawsuits can be emotionally draining, financially devastating, and oftentimes can be avoided through management training and ensuring you have risk mitigation processes in place that alert you of potential human resource issues. At the Gene Consulting Group, we help you take a proactive approach to how you do business. We do this by providing responsive, legal, and HR services tailored for you. Our services are on demand, on your terms, and transparent. You get a trusted advisor and partner who can execute across multiple lanes for a fraction of the cost. We help you maintain an engaged workforce while staying in compliance and avoiding costly litigation so that you can focus on what you do best, and that's growing your business. To learn how you can take a proactive approach to how you do business, please visit sandraljean.com.
Fan de la musique haïtienne, sit back and relax. Meli Melo Show a informé de tout ça qu'a fait dans HMI là. Music, analyse, actualité, promotion, interview, spotlight, collaboration, live performance, fan Q&A, history, mainstream. Get all that
on Meli Melo Atlanta Show.
Bonsoir encore et bienvenue sur Meli Melo, deuxième partie. Et partie ça, avant de commencer, je vais make sure que pour me get des séries de bagailles. Out of the way, week-end ça c'était week-end fête la belle Martine et puis aussi Odette Jean. Nous voulons souhaiter Mounsayo bonne et heureuse fête. C'était que nous te passons un bon week-end. Et deuxième partie là, j'aime vous dire non là, c'est une partie qui parle parler de from homeless to success. Libéral fait en anglais pour faciliter invité que nous avons là qui seulement parlent anglais et Martine pour faire une présentation pour gérer la conversation avec Sabine et de sujets ça. And then welcome Elizabeth, and then Martine will head the topic for today.
Yes.
And thank you for coming to our show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Bonsoir tout le monde, bonsoir Meli Melo, bonsoir the fans of Meli Melo. My name is La Belle Martine and my co-host, the beautiful Sabine Apollon. Good afternoon, Sabine. How are you?
I am well. I'm well. here and healthy.
Did you have a good Mother's Day?
Excellent. My kids took care of me beyond measure.
Oh my God, yeah, I did too. It's a 3-day week. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I had a surprise on Saturday.
You deserve
Very
it.
good. Yes. And our special guest, Elizabeth Hendrix. How are you today?
I'm great. And how are you doing?
Well. How was your Mother's Day?
It was nice. I went and I also helped for an event from mothers who've had their children murdered to gun violence. And we threw a nice brunch for them by Wild Ministries with Cassandra Crane.
Yes, Cassandra. Yes, I work with her as well.
Yes, she's amazing.
Yes. OK, so aswaya n'a présenté deux femmes vaillantes qui pour aller parler de homeless et là yo te homeless comme dit yo perdu caillou yo pas de rien et pour supporter yo pas de support ça que te dormi dans machine ça que te dormi dans shelter et nous choisi sujet ça jodi c'est parce que d'habitude et l'heure n'a fêté fête des mères et c'est toujours on joie ou bien on et conversation positive qui parlait tout le monde content so choix aujourd'hui en fait parce que gain de leur et le wap deal avec la femme qui passait misère qui passait et pas gain caille pas gain cob so nous choisi que li mieux pour nous parler de sujet ça pour nous deux et femmes qui pourra parler yo pour nous apprendre de ça veut dire le monde et à vivre homeless, ça veut dire que yo pas gen caille pour yo rete et yo sorti de là et yo vinn faire un succès dans vie yo. So nous pensons que li était une bonne idée pour nous te montrer tout le monde genre ça possible le ou sorti dans état qui déplorable et puis ou arriver et pour succès. OK, so we're going to, et n'a fait en anglais, jodi, et on a tiré raison tout qui fait nous choisir faire en anglais, et que n'a obligé faire en anglais, c'est parce que d'habitude, nous connaît peuple, nous connaît moun nou yo, et genre de sujet ça, yo très, 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 très susceptible, yo pas aimé parler de yo, et m'te rencontré une dame et une haïtienne, qui t'est passé même sorte de situation ça yo, et li pas vle parler de ça. So, li très rare que wap jwenn une haïtienne qui pouvait nous parler de un bagay comme ça public parce que nous sommes peuple qui très fier, qui très that cannot happen to me and it happens, and so nous choisi
I was going to add also, it's such a sensitive subject. Correct. And for the majority of us, and we take things for granted.
Correct.
We take things for granted that you see someone and they look nice and they speak nice and they have a pleasant aura about them, but you don't know their journey.
Correct.
You don't know their journey.
Correct.
You don't know what they're going through.
All the time.
All the time. And so I think, this subject is even more so, again, celebrating Mother's Day. And, like we said, we had a great Mother's Day, but there's others that have not.
Correct.
And, it's dire for them. It's dire for them. And it actually pains them going through a Mother's Day. So,
and you're right on that note, but when you're saying that particular woman, used to see her, you would never think that beautiful, driving a nice car, she speaks well, very articulate, educated, or whatever, but she went through
hell. You just don't know their journey.
And she, of course she's Haitian, but she said she's not ready to do that. But I know she's never going to be ready because that pride is always there. And that's just, that's the Haitian in us, So I'm going to introduce our beautiful Elizabeth Hendrix tonight to actually tell us a little bit about her journey. Okay, so I would like for you to introduce yourself and be aware that you are speaking to a Haitian audience, but they speak English as well, so they will be able to understand what you're saying. So make yourself comfortable and let's go.
My name is Elizabeth Hendrix, and I'm 52 years old. I am a grandmother, a mother, a wife, and a teacher. And I used to be a model, still can model sometimes. But I also had where I've been homeless. I was homeless since 18, where my family had threw me out and I didn't have anywhere to go. So I've had to go from place to place. I was also in an abusive relationship. And in 2000, I almost lost my life. My blood vessel was busted in my head and I almost died to the hands of my abuser, and that left me homeless. And I had to go from shelter. I've had to go from extended stay and even a church before to try to have somewhere to stay. And I thank God, because if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here alive. If it wasn't for God, if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be alive. And I know this, and I thank him every day because I know he keeps me, and I have short-term memory, but God always let me know he's right there with me. And now I am married to a gorgeous man that I love named Harold Greaves. And God gave me that man, and I just couldn't see myself better. I'm a teacher, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother to a gorgeous grandson, about to have a granddaughter, and my son is gorgeous. And it's just, I can look at where my life started and where it is now and just throw my hands up and say, Lord, I thank you, because if it was not for you on my side, I don't know where I would be. Because not knowing where your meal is going to come from, not knowing if the abuser is going to come back and find you, because my abuser was telling me that if he can't have me, no one can't have me. But God said different. And God covered me under the shadow of his wings.
Elizabeth, I was going to ask you, for somebody who's right now listening to this audience and listening to your story, and they're in that same predicament, what would you tell that person right now?
I would tell them, trust in God. Lean not to your own understanding, but trust and rely and depend upon him. When you're all alone and you feel like you're being abandoned, rejected, or anything, call on his name. When I was about to die to the hands of my abuser, I was sitting there on the steps while he was beating me in my head, blood splashing everywhere. And all I could say is, Jesus, 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 Jesus. That's all I did. And that's who covered me. So I would tell anybody, talk to God, get support, reach out. Don't be scared to tell anybody your story. If you're being abused or you're going through anything tragic, call on God and ask for resources. That's what I would tell them.
Okay. So you want to go, Rudy?
Quick question. Okay. I'm so sorry for bringing this up, but how did the abuse started? How did it stop?
I can tell you that. He was on crack cocaine. He was on drugs. And it stopped once I left, and I had to realize that I was worth more than what he was doing to me, that I had to learn to love me. See, a lot of times what we don't realize is a lot of women don't love themselves, and that's how they get in these kind of situations, because they look for love in the wrong partner or the wrong person. And when you talk to God and ask God to show me your will and your way, he can send that person to you instead of you just choosing someone. So I went from that because, like I said, he was an abuser, and I had to choose that I didn't deserve to be beaten anymore, that I deserved more. And once I decided that, I didn't turn back anymore. And a lot of prayer. I went to church and they prayed for me. And that's what I would say. Get around some good prayer partners. They can pray you through some serious things. And that's what happened for me.
Great.
Okay. So I hear that you say, Elizabeth, that you were thrown out, And
yes.
So let's take it back a little bit on how it actually started.
Okay.
So you say you were thrown out, and I'm assuming you're home. Is that correct? So how old were you? And you don't have to say a lot of the details, but just elaborate a little bit on what was the reason of you being thrown out.
Okay. Well, I'm adopted.
Okay.
And because I'm adopted, and the family that I was raised in didn't like me because of my mother, just straight up. They didn't like my mother. My mother's white. My dad's Puerto Rican Indian. Okay. I was raised in a Black family, and they didn't like me. They didn't like the way my mother was, and they say I look just like her. So from the hate of my mother, I got punished for that. And they called me names. They beat me. I got beaten a lot. And when I tried to stand up for myself is when they put me out. And when they put me out, I didn't have anywhere to go. I went and I laid on a bench. And this lady came out of the store and said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Do you have anywhere to go?" I said, "No, my family threw me out." She said, "I'm going to take you home with me."
How old were you?
18.
Okay, so you were already an adult.
Yeah.
And you say you were thrown out. So the first thing that you thought about, you had no other family?
No. I felt very rejected, abandoned. I felt like, God, why do you have me alive? I've tried to commit suicide many, many times when I was a little girl and throughout my life, because you don't feel loved. When someone throw you out and throw you like you're trash, you don't feel loved, and you've been called all kind of names.
So at that point, this became homeless.
Yes.
So you were living in the street?
Yes.
And how was that like?
Very dangerous, very scary.
Just tell us about it a little bit,
Yeah, it was very dangerous. Like, you're scared to come out of a room because you're like, what are they going to say to me? How are they going to judge me? How are they going to look at me? Like, you're frightened every day, and you don't know who you can trust. You don't know which way to go. So you feel lost.
Was this in Atlanta?
No, mine was in South Carolina at first, when I first was homeless, and then here in Georgia. Yes, in East Lake. In Atlanta, in East Lake, in a very bad part of town. And also on Simpson Road is where I got my head busted in.
Okay. You got your head busted in, you said?
Yes.
And by who?
By my abuser.
Okay, so was this a partner, a boyfriend?
He was my husband at the time.
Okay, so you got married during that process. Was he homeless with you as well?
No, he was living in a what do you call it? Like a work release program through a church. He was like that because he had a drug problem. He was supposed to be getting help, and he came and found out where I stayed and jumped on me.
Okay, so take us back a little bit one more time, Elizabeth, because we need to kind of like be a little bit more clear of when you say, so when you went from thrown out to the street.
Mm-hmm.
So after you gone to the street, so what was the experience in the street? Did you get a job, or how did you actually survive?
Having to stay from place to place, to on this pillar from post, staying with, after the lady, then I had to move. I ended up going to Job Corps, okay? Mm-hmm. After Job Corps, before I finished Job Corps, that's when I met my, not my husband now, make that crystal clear, my abuser. Okay. And he brought me to Georgia with him. And that is how I ended up in Georgia. And he abused me for many, many years.
Yeah. But see, the people that don't understand, because sometimes it's I've actually worked with homeless people, yes. So I kind of like have an idea. But for the people that don't really understand, how do you live from day to day, especially like, you know, how do you shower? How do you know what I mean? Your personal, well, like how is that life like?
Absolutely. And well, also like being 18, mm-hmm. What I know there's certain you age out. So in terms of resources correct. And availability of what the city, the state can mm-hmm. give you, I know that cuts off. So I would love to hear how did you survive correct. Just being in the streets?
My lesson was when I first got thrown out in 18 and I was able to go and stay with that lady she worked at Kmart. When she came out of Kmart, she took me in. When she took me in, that's where I went from there to Job Corps. So that's how I was still blessed, but I was still homeless. Mm-hmm. So that's how I was able to shower and everything, because the lady whose house I stayed at, I was able to take a shower there, okay. You know, and everything. Okay. Now, when I was homeless here in Atlanta, mm-hmm. I've had to stay at extended stays. I've had to stay at churches, and I've had to stay at shelters. That's how I was able to.
But the extended stays, you have to pay.
Yes, so churches.
Okay. So you had the resource.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because when I went through the shelter, they helped me, and they kept talking to different people and churches and things, and getting checks for me mm-hmm. and my son because of the situation, mm-hmm. and put me on and helped me get Section 8. And after they helped me get Section 8, they helped me find a place, and I was homeless no more.
Okay, good.
Then I've understand. According to what you mentioned earlier, mm-hmm. that you were abused. Have you ever somehow during that time involved law enforcement?
Yes. The state of Georgia is the reason why I got a divorce. The state of Georgia is the reason why he can never come anywhere near me.
Okay, but you mentioned divorce. Were you married to him?
Yes, I was for 4 months.
For 4 months.
He tricked me into getting married. He told me he was taking me on vacation, mm-hmm. and he took me to Tennessee. And he said he had to go in a courthouse, make a quick stop. And he had all my clothes and everything in black and silver for me. And black means death. And he begged me in front of everybody at that courthouse to marry him. So I did marry him.
Wow. So therefore, the courthouse, they should have known if he begged you, sure. There wasn't something that was voluntarily done.
I don't think people really care as much as they used to mm-hmm. about domestic violence, or it's kind of like they probably feel like it's not my business, and maybe this is something they want to do, because he made it seem like it was a good thing. But when you don't know somebody's journey or their story, or you're not paying attention to the signs, mm-hmm. you don't know.
So
did you trust him? I was going to say, did you trust him at that point? Mm-hmm. Or you just going for the ride?
I didn't trust him. I believe the reason I married him was because mm-hmm. I went without a mother and a father. Mm-hmm. And I never wanted my son to have to go without a mother and a father also, because it was already hard. Mm-hmm. You mentioned Mother's Day. If I can mention something, I would like to share something with you. Mm-hmm. I cried a lot yesterday, and the only person knew that was God and my husband, because I still long to this day for my mother. I never met her. We believe we found her, but she don't accept me. And that's one of the hardest things. So when you say a lot of people have great Mother Days, everybody don't. And I was one of them that didn't. But the blessing was that we could go and help other women from who had their children taken away from them, and to give back to other women. So that was the blessing for me yesterday, but it still was hard.
So were you actually taken away from your mom, or your mom voluntarily?
My mother left us, me and my sister.
Wow. Are you guys still keeping contact, you and your sister?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Great.
Okay. So moving forward, let's go to the happy moments.
Yes.
Okay. So now you got married in the process with someone else.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And so after that, tell us about that. How did you meet your
What was the turning point? What was the turning point to make the story a success?
Yes. So now we're going to the part.
So honestly, my husband, Harold Greaves, God showed him to me 3 years before I even ever met him. He kept showing him to me in a dream that I was going to marry this man. And I'm like, God, I need somebody. What's this? But he kept showing me. He kept showing me a church. He kept showing me this man. But the thing about it is he didn't show me his face. It's like you take an eraser and just erase out the face. And he did the same thing with my mother when I was little. So I was like, okay, God, what is going on? So then he had a prophet come prophesize to me and tell me, as soon as you let go the darkness, I'm going to bless you with the light. And I'm going to bless you with who I have for you. Next thing you know, I was doing this fashion show. And the guy who invited me, he invited me and my adopted mom, Charlotte. And when I went there, we was back to back, but I didn't know. I saw this photographer walk up the stairs. Like, okay, he looked good, but I wasn't paying him attention like that. But I saw all the girls all over him. I was there for a fashion show to pay attention to the fashion show. So I paid attention to the fashion show. Next time I was the model in the fashion show.
Wow.
And I was standing there posing and I put down his card on my dresser and he told me, he said, I will send you your pictures. So he tagged me on Facebook. And then next thing you know, he said something on Facebook and I responded back to him and we've been talking ever since. And we talked for like 2 weeks and we had mental dates. And then next thing you know, yes, we had mental dates. And next thing you know, he came and the sparks were there. And another thing, God gave me this doll long time ago, years and years ago. And sometimes you don't know why God have you buy something, but he had me buy this doll. And my dress looked exactly like the wedding dress on this doll to this day. And he told me to put Miss Elizabeth Ann Greaves. I said, this man will think I'm crazy, Lord. Mm-hmm. But I did. And 2 years later, we got married. And I love him with everything inside of me.
And you have kids?
Yes.
How many
we
kids
have a son.
You have a son?
Yes.
Yeah. So how was Mother's Day?
Huh?
How was your Mother's Day with your son?
My son was sick, unfortunately. So I just spent Mother's Day helping with the mothers for been through gun violence. Like I said, I went to that event and I helped them. When I came back, I just cuddled up with my husband. And we're going to celebrate this week.
Okay. Elizabeth, your journey is just incredible.
Thank you.
And I give you I hands out to you for your courage, for your strength, for your faith, because your faith comes through loud and clear. That without your faith, you will not be here. And that just strikes me. As a 17, 18-year-old being homeless, being, through your journey, what would you tell yourself, your 17-year-old self or your 18-year-old self right now, knowing what you know today?
Wow. I would tell myself, don't look for love in all the wrong places, because the thing is, and it goes back to God, when you have a relationship with God, even at a younger age, you won't feel you have to settle for just anything out there. What they say, anybody who settled for anything will fall for anything. Mm-hmm. I fell for anything because I long for the love. I long for the attention. I long for the care. I long for someone to take me in their arms and say they love me. And a lot of times it be a man and it don't be the right one, mm-hmm. And it could be abuser and they can tell their prey. It's like a lion. You can tell your prey. They can tell you're weak. They can tell you're vulnerable. They can tell you're broken. And soon as you tell them your story, they got you in the palm of their hands like a lion got its prey.
Right.
And I would tell myself, trust God. Don't just run away from your problems. Face them and pray and seek help. Tell somebody, I'm in this situation. I'm being abused. I need help. And as you reach out for help, then you should find resources and people that will help you. Right. So I would tell myself, speak up. Don't be silent about anything. Speak up. Because a lot of times in families we'll be told, you tell anything to go in this house, I'm going to da-da-da-da-da to you, you know? You don't tell anything that go on in this house. I was told that.
Correct.
All of that happened to you. Have you seek therapy as well?
I'm sorry. Yes, I had therapy when I went through domestic violence. We had domestic violence counseling, and I've had it for years since my baby was born and everything, because even now I'm going to go back through it because sometimes it still hit me, but I'm going to tell you what I focus on, not where I came from. I focus on where God is taking me now. I have a wonderful family. I have a sister named Vera, Gladys, Dee Dee. I have a mother-in-law, but she's not a mother-in-law. She's moms to me, and they love me dearly. They take me and they're like, oh, you're my sister. You know, you're my daughter. I'm not her daughter-in-law. I'm her daughter. And it's the way a mother should love a child. So why should I look back on what I lost when I see everything that I have right now? I have people who love me. I'm surrounded by people who love me. That's my past. This is my future.
And thank you for that. So we're going to wrap it up a little bit.
Okay.
But what I would like for you to do is actually say a word to the mothers. You know, say a word to the mothers, whether it be your experience, what you've learned through it, the positive word to a lot of mothers that would like to hear, and some mothers that may be experiencing the same thing. And that would want to hear that, you know, you came from that and now you're at a success. Just give us a word for the mothers on behalf of Mother's Day.
Also, just one additional thing. Would love to know at your journey today, what is next for you? What is next for Elizabeth as you wrap up?
A book.
Okay, good.
I wrote a book.
Oh, you wrote that?
And I'm going to get it published. Ben told me to write the book. I wrote the book and I'm going to get it published. What I would tell mothers is just because you gave up your child don't mean you got to walk away from them. You can still give them a chance because you don't know the jewel or the treasure or the butterfly that you're missing out on. We all make mistakes. We all have a journey. We all got a testimony. Give them a chance. Open up your hearts. And mothers who's out there now who got their kids, hold on to them. Forgive them for their mistakes. You might have made some mistakes. They might have made some mistakes. Love on them now. Just like you wanted God to forgive you, forgive them. So you will be forgiven, and love each other. Life is short, and be blessed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'm very, very happy that you were actually able to do this, because I know it's not easy. But on behalf of Meli Melo, we would like to thank you for your courage.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Y'all be blessed.
Definitely. Thank you very much. We appreciate that your experience, that you mentioned everything you've been through. We just definitely, hopefully, will have you next time on our show. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. We're going to take a quick break and bring our next guest.
The city waited all year for an event like this. Atlanta, this Father's Day weekend, Vision Entertainment presents the official all-white affair. Performing live. Vibe is back in Atlanta for a Father's Day performance you can't miss. Also in the house, it's Crayola. T-Show is back. The Father's Day weekend, all white Worldwide Affair, Saturday, June 14th at Essence Venue, 5439 Riverdale Road, as we celebrate Junior Design Birthday Bash. Crayola and Vibe with music by DJ Dr. Sound and DJ Massive. Saturday, June 14th at Essence Venue. Sponsored by Traffic Pain. Tickets are on sale at yovibe.com. For info and VIP, call 678-777-4265 or 908-380-72.
Have you ever found yourself embarking on a new construction or renovation project only to feel overwhelmed by the lack of expertise and time to manage it effectively? The solution you've been seeking is right here. I am Sabine Apollon, the founder and CEO of Aniba Consulting, with over 2 decades of experience in design, construction, and commercial real estate. I'm your dedicated partner in success. I'll assist you in identifying and navigating the intricate details of your project, dealing with local jurisdictions, coordinating with general contractors and subcontractors, even managing schedules and budgets. It all can become daunting and time-consuming. At Aniba Consulting, we specialize in making projects, small or complex, manageable and stress-free. We act as your advocates throughout the entire process, safeguarding both your financial and personal interests. Helping you deliver your perfect project is our top priority. Together, we will bring your vision to life.
Employee lawsuits can be emotionally draining, financially devastating, and oftentimes can be avoided through management training and ensuring you have risk mitigation processes in place that alert you of potential human resource issues. At the Gene Consulting Group, we help you take a proactive approach to how you do business. We do this by providing responsive, legal, and HR services tailored for you. Our services are on demand, on your terms, and transparent. You get a trusted advisor and partner who can execute across multiple lanes for a fraction of the cost. We help you maintain an engaged workforce while staying in compliance and avoiding costly litigation so that you can focus on what you do best, and that's growing your business. To learn how you can take a proactive approach to how you do business, please visit sandraljean.com.
Fan de la musique haïtienne, sit back and relax. Meli Melo Show a informé ou de tout ça qu'a fait dans HMI là. Music, analyse, actualité, promotion, interview, spotlight, collaboration, live performance, fan Q&A, history, mainstream. Get all that
on Meli Melo Atlanta Show.
Bonsoir tout le monde et encore bienvenue sur Meli Melo que nous avons traité un sujet qui est les From Homeless to Success. Et avant de recommencer avec nouveau invité nous là, je salue 2-3 personnes qui est toujours sous bord là, qui est toujours à regarder. Et je salue particulièrement le docteur Sandra Duval, docteur Erickson Vibert, Emmanuel Bernard, bonsoir, Carla Marseille, Matt et tout le monde qui a regardé le show là, nous disons bonsoir, bienvenue encore sur Meli Melo. Alors, the subject for tonight is From Homeless to Success. I have with me here Melvenna Clark, correct?
Correct.
All right. Perfect. Welcome, Melvenna, to Meli Melo, and thank you very much for coming and try to sharing your story with us.
Okay.
I'm leaving you with Miss Martine Claude, who's going to head the conversation. Come on.
Welcome, Melvenna, to the show. And
Thank
as we
you.
know, we're going to speak about your story, which is we're going from homeless to success. And you're beautiful today. And I'm glad that you're able to make it to the show.
Yes, thank you.
Sabine, and
Yes.
you'd like to actually...
Absolutely, absolutely. And we talked the last segment. We talked about Mother's Day and what it means, different things for different people for Mother's Day. Sometimes it's joyous, and then there's other times that it's actually painful. And between your journey and who how you've come from hardship to where you are today is really important. And again, we mentioned you don't know people's story. You see them for face value, and you think everything is nice and rosy, but you don't know their inner thoughts. You don't know what their challenges, their being, and who they have become because of their challenges.
Yes.
And so with that, I would love for you to share your story. And again, it takes courage. It takes grit. It takes a lot for you to even be here to tell your story. So we would love for the audience to know a little about you and what really shaped you, and some of the struggles that you've gone through.
Correct. Okay. And we'll go step by step. Okay. You don't have to elaborate the whole entire. Step by step, so that we can actually focus and pay attention to what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So tell us, what happened? What happened? You went from homeless, if you want to.
So, yes. So, my homeless journey began, right around I was homeless twice. My first time, it began when I, tragically lost my mother, my sister, my oldest son, an aunt, a grandmother, and a best friend in less than 6 months' time. And then I had a heart attack behind the deaths of all of them. Month to month, I had to bury somebody. And so sometimes people don't understand that type of pressure and that type of losses can cause you some mental health, breakdowns. And I literally had one. I didn't allow mine to spiral out of control. I held it in, and it caused me some health issues. I ended up having a slight heart attack, and my oldest sister was murdered, and I had to have a double funeral for my mom and my sister. So that kind of took a toll on me. And so I had to take my sister's kids and raise hers, and then my little sister had a breakdown. So that put a lot on my plate. And in the process of me having the heart attack and my mental health situation from having to bury everybody, it was really, really, really tough. I think burying my mom, my aunt, grandma, those people. But when I had to bury my oldest son, just a couple of months later from doing all that, it really took me down.
Malon, can you just speak on just how long ago was this? What year was this?
This happened in 2015. Yes.
Okay. So, one more time. Let's take it back to the amount of people. And the reason why I'm choosing to go to the amount of people is just to actually show people that you can go through like hell and back and turn out successful.
Yes.
So you said your mom, your aunt, your son, your older sister, and who else?
Grandmother and a best friend.
Grandmother and a best friend. That's 6 people in 1 year.
Yes.
Back to back.
Less than 6 months.
And you're still alive yourself.
I'm still here to tell the story.
And you had a heart attack.
I did. I had a slight heart attack. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us just about that. How does that feel like? What is the feeling of losing 6 people back to back, and you actually having a heart attack on top of that?
Yes.
What does that look like?
It was hard because, we think we have the answers and we can handle everything and we can say what we're going to do. But then when you have to actually walk in those shoes, it became a whole nother ball game. And I think because of all the deaths, I truly have became numb behind them. And I think it hadn't had a chance to sink in. And so I began to hold it in, and it began to break my health down. And, it wasn't good. I wasn't in a space where I could fully function. And I can honestly say, with my mom and grandma, auntie, and them, it was hard, and my best friend. But I think the biggest part, that pushed me was my oldest son. But right before he got murdered, he had a little breakdown and he went into the church, and I was able to do something not a lot of moms have the opportunity to do. And I was able to watch my son rededicate his life to Christ. And so I think that right there held me together, and I became boots on the ground.
Right. At what point did you become homeless?
Right after I had buried my mom and my sister and them, and I had when I had the heart attack, and then upon me returning back home, all my things were out because I was gone for a couple of months. It was a process.
I was just going to ask you, tell us your situation when all of this, within those 6 months. Were you working?
Yes.
Did you have other children?
I did.
Just really paint that picture of what that looks like for you.
So I was working, had a good job, corporate America, was married. And when all these things happened, husband left me because when I took on my sister's kids, he thought that was a bit much. You know, we were building this life of success and, you know, just everything. But at the end of the day, my sister and those children needed me. And it wasn't like that we had anybody, because I just lost my mom and my sister. And I think what pushed him over the edge is like literally when I lost my son. And so he kind of left me. I was stuck with all these kids in the hospital. And mind you, we had a big, beautiful house. I mean, didn't have to want for anything. Literally, I had, you know, people say you had that life where you had this big, beautiful house, cars, you know, the furniture, the fame, the fortune, you have all these things, and didn't think in a blink of an eye, everything was stripped away.
And that was due to that.
Yes.
So you were living where?
In Georgia. I was in Georgia, in Grayson, Georgia. I had a big, beautiful house.
So were you actually out in the street?
Yes. Me and the kids, we were out in the street, hotel to hotel, sometimes living in the car, sleeping in the car.
How many kids?
I had, 11 kids with me at the time. Yes.
So you were homeless with 11 kids?
Yes. I had my 3 and my grandson, and then I had the rest of my sister's kids.
So were you in shelter or actually in the street?
No, in the streets.
In the streets.
They didn't have a shelter for me and the kids, because here in the state of Georgia, I had the older boys, and they don't allow boys over a certain age to go into the shelter. And so therefore, I wasn't going to allow them to go into a men's shelter and separate from them. And so, you know, people will say what they'll do, but they don't understand, because we'll say, well, there's resources out there. At that time, there weren't strong resources for mothers who had older boys, because things had transpired in the shelter, you know, that wasn't due to us, but we had to face the consequences. And so before I allow my children and my sister's kids to have to be separated into a men's shelter when there's already a lot going on for them to pick up habits, I made the sacrifice to sleep in the car and do what I had to do to try to provide for us. And with the grace of God, I made it through. It was hard, you know, sleeping in the car with 11 kids and a big SUV was very hard. And then trying to maintain and keep custody of everybody, and plus keep my sanity.
Right. So you weren't working?
Yes, I had ended up couldn't go back to work because I'd had a heart attack. So with the grace of God, I was on medical leave for a little while, which covered some of our expenses. And you know, after a while, they ended up letting me go, and so I was stuck with all these kids, nowhere to go, no job. Barely holding on to my peace and my sanity.
What was the age of the children, the 11 kids?
They ranged all the way. My grandbaby was probably about 9 months, between 9 and 11 months. And I think my next to the oldest son was probably, Sean was about 17, 18. Yeah.
So from 9 months to 18, 11 kids.
Yes.
So they were in school?
Yes, they were in school. Yes. And I was taking them back and forth. And, the social worker, they did as much as they could to help provide us hotels and stuff like that. And, of course, they'll say, well, if you can't take care of the kids, we're going to have to temporarily place them. So I had to just, when they were at school, find means of learning new things and picking up new things that I never thought that I could do. And I know most people look at their situations as bad and homeless as such a bad thing. But for me, I can tell you that with the grace of God, I've kept my peace, I kept my sanity, and I learned other gifts, skills, talents, and abilities that I never knew I had. And I was able to pull through with 11 kids and a lack of resources.
And that's where we're going to go. Now we're going to go to the happy moment, which is, of course, the subject is Mother's Day. So we're having a happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
And just tell us about the success part of it. So we went from that little dark place.
Yes.
Now let's see the light and what you're doing now and how is it? How is it going? How are the kids? And as a mother, what is your success? So we're going to go to the happy place now.
Okay. So for Mother's Day, this past Mother's Day, actually yesterday, I had the opportunity to, about 5, maybe 6 years ago, meet a young man named Terrell Johnnies, who has a nonprofit organization, which is called the Spread Love Initiative here in Atlanta. And so I didn't celebrate because I was, it was hard. It was rough and I wasn't in a good space. So these ladies came and invited me. My boys had ended up in incarceration. All my other 3 sons ended up in incarceration, which really took a toll on my mental health. And so I was invited to a Mother's Day brunch, and I was just sad, and all the other kids had grown up. Everybody was, going on about their life. My 3 boys were incarcerated because, again, I had poured into trying to help my sister's kids and try to save the world. And I lost my children to the system. And I'm not ashamed to say it, but, this is my story and my truth. And so, So yesterday with Mr. Terrell, once I went to his event on that Mother's Day 6 years ago, I was there, and the impact of that, being around other mothers who had lost their kids to gun violence or unforeseen circumstances, and just being in that safe space kind of just opened up this place of healing for me. And so from there, I began to heal. I took nuggets away from there, and I was surrounded myself by other moms who had experienced that pain and who was helping me walk through the process. And so on yesterday, I think it's been about my 5th or 6th year with them. So I joined forces because I received my healing there. And so I jumped in. And I have a movement called When Girlfriends Gather. And what When Girlfriends Gather do is we come together, different women from all different walks of life, different cultures, different races. We come together and we help one another. And that was birthed after the death of my sister, when one of her girlfriends had stated that she wished she could have done more. So God just gave me this ministry. And then I also started the Shaquille Clark Foundation, which was after my son, to help young people because of the young man that had murdered my son. So I was able to, God just gave me this vision that, hey, we got to help change the way that people meet their everyday needs. And so when that happened to me, I went in and started working with the youth as well as the women, but I encountered just a little situation that brought light to my ministry where, we can fix the child, but if you send the child back to a broken home, then you're going to still get the same results. And so God just brought in my ministry with the When Girlfriends Gather and the Shaquille Clark. And so we bridged that gap and we brought it in together. And so we started working with the moms in the homes and the children. And so we started building up healthy, happy homes with children and women and also the husbands. So yes.
I know we're running out of time, but would love to hear, what would you say for women who are going through something very similar to what, between homelessness and and having your child murdered, and what would you tell them right now?
I would encourage every woman out there, because life happens to us all, and we can't control the things that happen to us, but we can control how we react to them. And I say to you, everybody has their way of grieving, but my encouraging word to them is to never lose yourself. It's okay to cry. It's okay to, deal with it, but just don't lose yourself and hold on to God's unchanging hands, because that's what has gotten me through. God's unchanging hands and having the right support circle around you. People that will uplift you, that will encourage you, that will hold you accountable and push you back into your greatness. So I encourage you to, cry if you gotta, but don't stay there. Pick yourself back up, because let me tell you, there is joy in carrying the torch for your loved ones to light the way for somebody else.
Mm-hmm. That's very good. That's very good. Thank you so much for coming. And on the behalf of Meli Melo Show, we appreciate your courage.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then we're definitely going to have you back.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate you all.
The city waited all year for an event like this. Atlanta, this Father's Day weekend, Vision Entertainment presents the official all-white affair. Performing live. Vibe is back in Atlanta for a Father's Day performance you can't miss. Also in the house, it's Crayola. T-Show is back. Father's Day weekend, all-white affair, Saturday, June 14th at Essence Venue, 5439 Riverdale Road, as we celebrate Junior Design Birthday Bash. Crayola and Vibe with music by DJ Dr. Sound and DJ Massive, Saturday, June 14th at Essence Venue, sponsored by Traffic Pain. Tickets are on sale at yovibe.com. For info and VIP, call 678-777-4265 or 908-380-72.
Martine, montez.
René son jeune garçon qui a un plan en Haïti pour le faire maintenant.
René, sous ça de kounya là, mon bon régime banane.
Combien de au fouet? Parlez fort pour mon entendre.
15 pi.
Royaume balé! Moi pas qu'à connaître après bon Dieu. Qu'il y a un monde qui a plus pouvoir que moi dans le pays ça. C'est moi-même qui est président.
Parce que, bon Dieu le dit,
nous pas voulons rater. Vois ça.
Nous assassiner président. Nous emprisonner président. Nous exiler président. Mais on ne donne aucun président qui coquin ne gauche nous.
Bagay pour me dire non, bagay yo gâté pour me.
Nous vivons dans un pays noir. Blanc, indirectement, c'est lui qui a le pouvoir.
Pour foutre Martine. You don't know how much damage you can do with those documents.
Faut pas jamais qu'on guesse qui commettent aucun crime en Haïti. On dirait que vous faites exprès pour passer dans la tête.
Respect pour vous.
Respect pour vous, petite fille.
Est-ce que vous connaissez qui peut acheter? C'est moi qui peut acheter. Non, moi c'est Ousnan Jérôme, moi c'est un Regional Advisor qui travaille dans Copia Homelands. C'est très important pour travailler avec un monde qui parle la langue. On a une patience qui a été depuis l'application jusqu'à s'arriver dans le closing table. Moi-même, avec toute l'équipe, je travaille dur pour jouer une qualification ou besoin pour acheter caille pour aimer. À Copia Homelands, licencié dans 20 États, inclus Florida et Georgia. Relève dans 908-764-0290. Quittez mon tour, qui est Jean, ou Caïdo, jeune Caï ou Aimer.
Have you ever found yourself embarking on a new construction or renovation project only to feel overwhelmed by the lack of expertise and time to manage it effectively? The solution you've been seeking is right here. I am Sabine Apollon, the founder and CEO of Aniba Consulting, with over 2 decades of experience in design, construction, and commercial real estate. I'm your dedicated partner in success. I'll assist you in identifying and navigating the intricate details of your project, dealing with local jurisdictions, coordinating with general contractors and subcontractors, even managing schedules and budgets. It all can become daunting and time-consuming. At Aniba Consulting, we specialize in making projects small or complex, manageable, and stress-free. We act as your advocates throughout the entire process, safeguarding both your financial and personal interests. Helping you deliver your perfect project is our top priority. Together, we will bring your vision to life.
Employee lawsuits can be emotionally draining, financially devastating, and oftentimes can be avoided through management training and ensuring you have risk mitigation processes in place that alert you of potential human resource issues. At the Gene Consulting Group, we help you take a proactive approach to how you do business. We do this by providing responsive, legal, and HR services tailored for you. Our services are on demand, on your terms, and transparent. You get a trusted advisor and partner who can execute across multiple lanes for a fraction of the cost. We help you maintain an engaged workforce while staying in compliance and avoiding costly litigation so that you can focus on what you do best, and that's growing your business. To learn how you can take a proactive approach to how you do business, please visit sandraljean.com.
Moi, c'est Darlene Joseph. Moi, suis un realtor, real estate broker avec Inspirational Homes dans Georgia. Moi, j'ai un pile année depuis que j'ai aidé les gens à acheter, vendre et investir dans le caille. Yo relem realtor communautaire. Si vous Florida, vous pensez pour venir Georgia, il y a pile option pour vous. Tant qu'une option dans la communauté ça que nous prenons. Nous connaissons que Georgia a un gros caille. Si vous pensez pour un gros caille par là, contactez Darlene Joseph avec Inspirational Home à 678 613 75 76. Encore, c'est dans 678 613 75 76. Ou capable de joindre moi sur tous les réseaux sociaux, sur Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, moi là comme Sold by Darlene. Contactez-moi et m'appelez joindre Kai Paola.
Grand-papa, compagnie manger officielle diaspora haïtienne. 100% haïtien. Son compagnie qui a fait effort pour faire économie Haïti, maman Haïti, brassé. Et puis grand-papa, bon paquet différents produits de qualité. Blé ak pitimi pour moun qui fait sikyo, maï moulin. Et puis pois Congo, si pois Congo jaune là, c'est le grand-papa gagne qui sont Haïti tête droite. Lalo, Jonjon, Jumango, et puis superstar grand-papa, du riz grand-papa, basmati, du riz jasmine, c'est pas du riz chemical qui fait moun malade là non? Grand-papa, oui, yon qualité sans pareil. Ou ka imiter, mon pape jamais gagné. Grand-papa, oui, et puis nous compte bagay là déjà, wap manger en pépin à grand-papa.
Pour plus d'informations, relez-nous dans 866 472 67 26 ou bien visitez-nous sur www.grandpampan.com.
Are you a commercial driver tired of wearing every hat in your business? Is the administrative burden keeping you from focusing on what you love? Do you wonder if you can even afford help to support you in your business? The wait is over. Make the call today. Call your new partners at T5 Transit, where we create entrepreneurial freedom. At T5 Transit, we set you right the first time so you can get on your way with confidence, knowing that all aspects of your business are taken care of. With our 7 essential services, you can be sure to find what you need to run your trucking company efficiently. Optimize your business with the Profit First Cash Flow Management System. Get yourself an insurance plan against unexpected legal challenges with the Commercial Driver's Legal Plan. Contact us today and find out about our budget-friendly options. Finally, enjoy the benefits of your hard work and let your business serve you. Contact T5 Transit today and watch your company thrive.
Fan de la musique haïtienne, sit back and relax. Meli Melo Show a informé de tout ça qu'a fait dans HMI là. Music, analyse, actualité, promotion, interview, spotlight, collaboration, live performance, fan Q&A, history, mainstream. Get all that
on Meli Melo Atlanta Show.
Bonsoir encore tout le monde, bonsoir, bienvenue sur Meli Melo, deuxième partie de l'édition. Avant tout, je vais saluer un peu le monde. Comme d'habitude, pour ne pas quitter de toi monde parce que je ne veux pas moi qu'un monde vienne faire jalousie sous bord là. Et nous saluons Manouche Calomini, Sandra Duval, Gilbert Pierre et puis Walner qui est toujours là. Et deuxième partie ça, ce qui ça le focus, c'est que nous connaissons que on a le 16 mai rendez-vous en pile pour un pile monde qui t'attend de ça, c'est movie que nous relais July 7 qui va sortir là le 16 mai je connais c'est dans tout AMC bien content et approche ça et précision ça comme là. Je veux dire là nous avons deux invités, une qui dans station là avec une qui en ligne dans station là, nous gagnons monsieur Evans Jean-Baptiste qui est avec nous et puis en ligne nous avons monsieur Greg Maurice. Bon, on a dit tous nous les deux. Bonsoir, bienvenue sur Meli Melo.
Bonsoir à tous les téléspectateurs et téléspectatrices qui regardent nous en direct et sur Facebook ou bien YouTube. Il y a un show qui passe de présentation et me dit nous merci qui sont panel là pour l'invitation. Et me dit encore une fois nous allons parler et nous allons parler art, nous allons parler cinéma. Et encore une fois, merci pour l'invitation. Merci Greg qui est de l'autre côté.
Greg, bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Merci un peu pour inviter nous pour nous discuter.
On t'y avance tout petit ou bien monter volume là parce que nous touchons tout si j'entends de haut, si bas.
Est-ce que tu entends Kounia?
Ah bon, beaucoup mieux.
Oui, non, merci un peu pour inviter nous pour recevoir nous aujourd'hui pour nous discuter l'histoire qu'on a fait avec July 7 parce que pour nous ça c'est un bagage historique. Là on a parlé distribution avec cinéma américain qui s'est passé, bien content pile pour recevoir nous.
Bon Greg, je dis là que tu as aimé faire en anglais, bon moi créole ou bien.
Non, je ne pas la mamie là, je fais practice avec maman et papa, chaque jour je parle créole. Bon.
Thank you guys and merci beaucoup parce que Bouya 2 c'est un bel movie en pile monde pas karaté et quand nous tous les deux là par contre qu'est-ce qui veut répondre question ça pour qui ça July 7
et d'abord July 7 c'est un cri c'est une façon pour nous rendre hommage bien mérité à président Jovenel Moïse qui mourut assassiné pendant qu'il au pouvoir dans le pays et par des mercenaires. Et moi je crois que un monde remel ou pas remel, que était pour lui ou bien pas pour lui, un président de la République qui assassiné dans le pays par des mercenaires, je crois que personne ne peut pas accepter ça. Par respect et je pense que personne pas doit accepter ça. Donc July 7 c'est une façon pour nous peine société pour nous dire qui est-ce qui ose venir tuer un président de la République pendant son pouvoir, et puis c'est une autre façon tout pour nous présenter nous-mêmes comme haïtiens dans tout aspect, dans sa lié, dans ça nous vend comme culture, dans ça nous vend comme mœurs, dans ça nous vend comme habitude, parce que nous avons une fâcheuse habitude pour nous vendre, par exemple, on prend vaudou de façon qui est très sale. Et dans le film, nous vendons vaudou de façon très propre. Nous portons dans un cabaret bien rangé, nous baillons en façon pour ne pas blesser ni monde qui vaudouisant, en façon pour ne pas blesser ni monde qui protestant, quel que soit cette religion, mais on connaît avant tout où c'est un haïtien. Donc, je pense que c'est une façon pour nous vendre culture là de façon très propre à haut niveau, et une autre façon pour nous rendre un hommage bien mérité à président qui était Maurice assassiné sous pouvoir.
Ah bon, bien content de répondre ça, et tout profiter répondre et poser des questions ça pour me tout ou t'as dit exactement qui est-ce qui est Baptiste dans movie qui sont poté, qui est-ce qui est Baptiste, qui ça maintenant dans movie.
Ok, d'abord, on va commencer par parler de qui est-ce qui est Baptiste. Baptiste, c'est un haïtien natif natal, moi fait dans le nord, et moi sorti, maman c'est mon l'embé papa c'est mon pilate, et il fait mon cap, et après pendant mon cap, moi j'étais toujours dans la question jouer théâtre, parce que tout le monde qui sorti dans l'or a une sensibilité artistique. Et j'aime vraiment sensibilité artistique aiguë, côté que nous faisons théâtre, nous tirons compte, etc. Ça fait partie de quotidien. Très jeune, moi, l'homme qui était au Cap, moi, venu rentrer pour au Prince, moi, intégré la troupe Père Thomas, qui c'est une troupe qui était plus prisée et de l'époque, et moi, j'étais acteur principal en feuilleton ça. Côté moi fait plus que 10 ans à jouer et comme acteur principal en feuilleton télévisé ça, et puis nous jouons plusieurs autres films, à ce que ça soit avec Wall Israël ou bien avec j'ai oublié le nom. Donc, je jouais avec le président le SIDA, avec Jimmy Jean-Louis, et qu'on a fait partie de un plus gros en réalisation que Haïtien j'en fait jusqu'à date, et qui écrit par l'excellentissime Gary Victor et Paul-Henri Atis. C'est deux vraiment mon chevronné qui connaît et qui écrit film ça, et puis poussé par le réalisateur et Robinson Lovens, et puis producteur exécutif Martine Maurice qui avait nous qui a poussé projet. Donc en gros c'est ça. Donc j'aime dire là moi fait art dramatique, moi fait mes jouer théâtre, moi fait feuilleton jusqu'à ce que moi vienne tomber là aujourd'hui, et puis la possibilité à monter.
Wow. Mais Greg, même question pour vous là, avant de commencer ou étaler et July 7 là.
I want to apologize before because I want to speak in English, so so everybody comprehend what I say, because like the significance of what July 7 represents and the history of cinema in the U.S. Because my background, I left Haiti when I was 13, so I went to school Saint Jean l'Evangeliste in Canada. I came to the States, but I've been working in Hollywood for 15 years. So I have released over 500 films, like across the board, like from Netflix, from Hulu, BET, all of them, and the challenges that we have in the industry and cinema, it's so hard and challenging, especially for a Black American. It is very hard because that's what I've been doing for the past 15 years. It's very challenging. And it was even harder for this title, for July 7, to receive like distribution, because we don't have data, we don't have reference, we don't have a blueprint of a Haitian title to go to the theaters, because a lot of them, they don't think Haitians will go and support a title produced and directed by Haitian director. So for me, like the significance of this is to use this as a blueprint, as a way to put this across the world, like to know about our story. And ultimately, if we deliver at the theater and if we come as Haitian in support, down the line, all the other titles that or stories that we want to tell to Hollywood, it's gonna be easier, even make my life easier to fight and to make those happen. Because that's what I do every day. I fight for those stories to happen, but ultimately, like the industry, they don't believe about us, about our stories. So this one, like we have to support and go hard in the theater.
All right, let me let the ladies ask some questions. I was
gonna ask Greg a question, and I come from my son was an actor, and he's in the arts and all of that, so I understand that. But I think for the audience, I think the significance of this movie, the significance of featuring a Haitian film in theaters. I mean, yes, you've got the local publications and things like that, but the significance of being in an AMC theater nationally, what does that look like? And the basis of the support in terms of, again, Haitians don't necessarily go to the movies, or they're not the money makers. They're not the revenue driven census control. So just talk about what that actually means, because this is huge. This is extremely huge.
Yes, it is. It is extremely. It's huge for our culture, and also like it was a educational process for myself, like to a lot of those theaters. Because when you, I want to shout out obviously Robinson and Westby, the whole July 7th. Seems like marketing wise, they were very less strategic to know like certain cities that have a lot of that's like a large Haitian population, because we were very like strategic on what cities to go like to put this release. Even that, when you're having conversation with the exhibitors, they always ask this. They question you was like, hey, they don't think they have like a large Haitian population in certain cities, but because they go by the census, they go by what they see online. And I had to do a lot of education, let them know like sometimes like us Haitian Americans, like we don't fill out the census, and sometimes like they don't have like the box that says Haitians for us. Like sometimes we just check in like black American. So it was a lot of education process, and they are we are blessed that they're taking the risk like for them like to give us this opportunity for us to put this title out this weekend. So for us, we just have to come out and support and to prove them wrong, because I can tell you they don't think we're gonna make a dent in the box office. Like, but for me, like I believe solely like if our community like want could come out and support, it's gonna be history making for us in the future.
Thank you for that.
Okay, it's my turn, Greg. How are you? Since we are the two English-speaking important people on the panel, we're going to speak English, right? Good. It's nice meeting you. You look good. Listen, my question would be, since we all know that this has been a traumatic incident, situation, I don't even know what to call it. It was devastating to the max. And kudos to everyone that actually participated in making this a movie, so that we could maybe bring some understanding to actually what happened. Now, whether we will for sure know what happened or not, it kind of doesn't really even matter. The fact that you were able to come up with this and produce this very important movie that I'm pretty sure that's going to go viral for sure, because everyone wants to know who killed the Haitian president. So, Greg, let us know how this has affected you, because I know for sure, I'm not even going to doubt it. I know for sure at some point during the process of making this movie, there was some effect. You were affected some type of way. And can you tell us about that?
Yes, it's a great question, because if you're Haitian across the globe and that event happened, because a lot of us were shocked for that to even happen. it doesn't matter like where you are in the political line, because ultimately like the leader of a country to be assassinated like that, and that was like all over the news, like obviously like that was very traumatic. And I could tell also like from my parents, because they are in the US as well, because my parents, all they do is listening to the news, like what's going on in Haiti.
Mhm.
And because ultimately all of us, like we want our country to be better, and what can we do to fix or even like contribute like for our country to be back how we all know like it's supposed to be. So I know for sure like it affected my parents, and also like for myself as well, because like just seeing that that happen and all over the news, like it's also brought like another negative aspect to Haiti, because every time we're in the news it's about something negative, and that was another one that contributed to that. So for me, like what I'm trying to do, and also like part of what July 7th can do for our country, is to bring great talent like Evans and also like Robinson as a
Right.
director, because we have so many talents in Hollywood who are Asian, and sometimes like we don't even like state that we are Haitians, because like every time we're on the news, it's something about negative. So for me, like I want to use this as an opportunity to bring some pride to our culture, to see what we're doing, and ultimately, like to boost the morale of of our people.
Correct. Thank you for responding. And just one more quick question. What have you done to prepare yourself mentally for this movie?
Um, what I do every morning is pray the Lord, basically like to prepare me for what's about to happen, because ultimately like this is bigger than me. It's about like what can I do in my position that I where I work in Hollywood. Like what can I do to elevate our culture, and also like put talented filmmakers like Robinson, and also like events like certain projects like to elevate to what they're doing, because ultimately it's not about myself, because I'll be prepared, because every morning like and at night just thank the Lord like for blessing me for this opportunity.
Mhm. Could we ask the question to Evans? How has this affected you?
As a Haitian, I think it's affected me like pretty bad, and this is the reason why, like when the staff, like especially people like Paul Henri Atis, Gary Victor, and they wanna emphasize the fact that a president in power, so someone come and kill him in power, like this is unbelievable. So we asked some question in this movie, a lot of questions, and we made a lot of research before we came out with this project. But as a Haitian, it affected me, and now we produce this movie, like and then I'm gonna take this opportunity to thank like Paul Henri Atis, Guy Victor, and Robinson, and who put a lot of people together to to make this possible. And also we make this project just to, as I said earlier, to say like never. That even is not supposed to happen anymore. And emphasis like other aspect in our daily life, like our culture, the way we eat, the way we dance, the way we talk, and everything. So yeah, and it's a little bit everything. It's kind of Meli Melo.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, we're really happy to with this project. So hopefully we're going I know further than that. So
I would love Evans, I was going to ask a question. As an actor in this movie and the role that you play, how did that come about, and how does that feel to be in that lead role?
C'est d'abord un sentiment de fierté, because I'm part of this like crew. Leur prend des mondes comme Jimmy Jean-Louis, et tant que Paul Henriatis, tant que Raquel Pellissier qui c'est Miss Univers que nous gagnons, Paul Henriatis qui passait de présentations, qui jouait plusieurs films à plusieurs niveaux, que ce soit à Haïti, que ce soit à Montréal, Canada, et nous gagnons Dr. La Rosilière, Kyle Jean-Baptiste, c'est des gens qui sont respectables et respectés. Et dans le temps, moun sa yo, le wab jouer d'abord, c'est déjà un sentiment de fierté. Deuxièmement, j'aime te dire avant, c'est une façon pour nous rendre un hommage à un président. Et il n'est pas facile pour un monde une opportunité pour rendre hommage à un monde. Et Robinson te mette nous ensemble, il était jugé que nous te mettions nous ensemble pour nous faire projet ça. Donc moi-même tant que tout l'autre, je me senti que c'est un bagage qui presque dépassé, me dit historique d'abord, mais en tant que monde, je me senti que il vraiment mettait dans un niveau côté que me dit OK, moi a contribué à un niveau ou un autre à émancipation culture moi et pour me c'est ça qui va permettre que on un petit push en plus pour payer aller en souffle ou du moins pour yo en façon qui bien au niveau international et m'a fait et bien content que il ba me chance ça pour jodi à tout le monde qui aller dans un cinéma et même gens ou regarder n'importe gros film Hollywood ou chita au pays ou aller dans n'importe cinéma j'aime dire quel que soit côté c'est pas un bagage qu'a fait dans 11 state mais les nationwide quel que soit la state où aller, and then vous pouvez juste monter sur Google et vous tapez July 7 movie, là tu exactement dans quel cinéma a passé, il y a un cinéma qui est plus près. Donc c'est déjà une victoire pour nous et une victoire pour culture, la victoire pour Haïti dans l'ensemble.
Bon, bien entendu, bien content qu'on ait information ça que les nationwide, c'est pas vraiment seul côté parce que un peu le monde est passé c'est Floride à savoir qui va gagner. Bien content pour précision ça comme ben il y a un monde qui demande là et est-ce que movie a est-ce que on subtitle?
Yes. Oui.
Okay, yeah. But just wanted to make sure que l'a fait. Eh bien, est-ce que vous connaissez showing là qui côté yo ka vraiment parce que yo rencontrer si y a bien monde qui là sous wap là si y a deux trois monde qui là qui côté avec killer que yo ka joindre nous
d'abord et y a joindre dans AMC qui Sugar Love Males
Alfred
yeah
no Sugar Love
no Lawrenceville
yeah.
Lawrenceville et puis il y a un autre cinéma qui est Barrett Common dans Kennesaw in Kennesaw, and then you can commencer purchase ticket parce que you can pre-purchase and ou bien vous parlez du jour et il y a un premier bagage que nous avons demandé mon si on a chance que nous gagnons côté que et c'est pas des bagages négatifs que nous allons faire c'est représenter nous représenter propre tête nous il y a un premier bagage nous souhaité que chaque monde nous prend en photo pour nous dire même j'ai été fait le Wakanda Forever, t'as sorti. Donc, nous-mêmes tout, dans le niveau que nous arrivons à, c'est chaque monde à aller, mettez belle radio, aller avec drapeau, aller avec rambler rouge, faire photo, nous-mêmes, n'a posté, pour nous montrer que c'est un mouvement, parce que ça qu'a fait là, c'est pas pour nous. It's for the culture, and it is for Haiti. So, mouvement que lié, chaque monde qui participe dans le mouvement, ça, il veut dire que c'est petit wash pot, petit good glue pour apporter pour pousser Haïti toujours, parce que nous avons trop éléments négatifs qui suivent nous, que ce soit en République Dominicaine, que ce soit aux États-Unis, que ce soit au Brésil, que ce soit au Chili, quel que soit côté lié. Haïtiens, ils perçoivent Haïtiens comme un élément gênant. Mais si nous jouons une anti-chasse en plus pour nous montrer il n'y a pas que ça en Haïti. Nous avons une belle bagaille, même si nous avons football, même si nous avons musique, Karimi a fait, l'autre groupe a fait. Je pense que nous-mêmes, dans le niveau cinéma, nous-mêmes, nous portons le baillot, nous faisons qu'on a ces moments pour nous-mêmes. Nous disons, OK, comme nous jouons le cinéma, comme gros plateforme, côté, en pile étranger pour aller habitude dans le cinéma. Et pour aller dans le cinéma, nous-mêmes, tout, en montrer que Haïti, arrivé dans plus haut niveau et nous arrivons dans plus haut niveau grâce à une équipe j'aime dire là Greg c'est un Miss Robinson c'est un l'autre et équipe Régine René Westby donc on passe mon ça yo pousser projet pour mettre le côté là donc nous mêmes jouer pour nous j'aime toujours dire jouer pour nous faire partie par nous parce que et nous mêmes nous la gueule dans nous et nous connaît haïtien par même c'est seul peuple qui va vouloir pour le défi. de ou bal défi la fait so parler ouais. Donc on veut dire ça.
So okay. Go ahead, Greg.
Non, je voulais additionner que vendredi à 7h, dans Sugarloaf, event plat, et puis ma plateau à 7h après mes films fin jouer, n'a fait un Q&A.
It's like a meet and greet.
Yeah, meet and greet.
Correct.
Oui, c'est puis n'a fini mon une question pour nous répondre n'importe question gain. So à 7h juste à 7h on vendredi cabine là.
So without actually revealing the plot of the film, tell us like one or two things that you feel, Greg, you can, it's your show. What thing that what in the film that you think that you could tell our audience that would interest them to come? Just give us a little secret of something that would be interesting that would make everyone want to come to see the movie. We already know that the question is who killed the president? We're not telling you to tell us, but just what would be the interesting part of the movie that you want to tell the audience to make them come to see the movie?
The number one, it's locate when you watch it, right? The location where it was shot, to see like certain part of the country that you'd be like, oh wow, I didn't know that was Haiti, because that's a good thing, and also the performance of the actors, right? Because tout acteur c'est haïtien. God actor, and also like the director he's also Haitian. So just to see like the level of performance that somebody like Evans, somebody like Jimmy, Tico, like the performance like they were able to put, just look at it from the lens of like when you watch other films, to see like the level of talent that they have. For me, like that's what that grabs my attention. Like it's just like the level of talent that we do have in our culture, and now it's time for us to showcase more of that.
Correct. Do you want to add something, Evan? What's your secret?
I mean, it's not really a secret, but yeah, juste parce que moi son acteur qui a parlé de film là, il y en a pas que nous faisons dans film là, c'est que même j'avais tout haïtien nous poser des questions. D'ailleurs, petit film là c'est Who Killed the President?
Correct.
And we ask questions. Nous pas seulement poser des questions, nous proposer. Et il y en a bagay c'est que dans film là que nous fait, nous montrer que l'espoir pas perdu. Et gain en pile façon que nous capable sortir la donne si nous prend exemple que nous bail dans film yo, parce que nous pas seulement venir avec un film pour nous faire mon ouais OK nous te voulons faire un film, mais nous te voulons nous faire un film pour éduquer, et c'est ça que fait encore une fois, chaque fois moi j'ai une chance, moi bail des monde tant que Paul-Henri Artis et Robinson Lovens en pile chapeau, parce que yo pas seulement fait un film parce que yo voulait faire yo dit OK on a le fond comme c'est pas de ça le dire, c'est une façon pour participer dans ça nous devons faire, parce que à la fin nous avons fini par réaliser que nous pas seulement proposer, mais nous dit jeunesse là faut l'y intégrer, gain série de bagages pour pas faire encore, gain des erreurs nous pas permettre nous le luxe pour nous faire encore chaque jour, parce que si nous perdons jeunesse là, nous perdons pays là, parce que c'est pays à reposer sous dos yo. Nous-mêmes en tant qu'acteurs, nous fait participation par nous, monde qui écrit film là fait participation par, monde qui réalise film là fait participation par, monde qui porter film là aller by étranger pour en façon pour tout le monde well de monde comme Miss Robinson en Gregory. So on pense que yo fait qu'on y a là l'œil aller il peut aller plus que ça nous dit, parce que nous pas capable secret, c'est l'œil arrivé après ça nous dit, et puis il a fini par réaliser que finalement Haïti bail on bagaille côté qui potable, on bail qui tout le monde a content pour y a parler de lui.
And that's where I was going. That was my next question. Est-ce que vous pensez que tout le monde allait, yo fin gade bouvian, est-ce que vous pensez que tout le monde est confortable pour you actually have an understanding? I'm not going to say knowing who killed it. I'm not going to ruin that. I don't want to put you on the spot, but actually have an understanding of knowing what actually happened. Do you feel like the audience would know that? That's important for our audience to know, so that they can be motivated to actually go and see the movie.
Let me tell you this. Moi, penser que si il pas vaut le coup, même si Greg te mis $1 million derrière film là, ou bien te mette $10 million dans film là, il pas atteindre box office, right?
Correct.
Il atteint box office parce que il y a certains critères que nous-mêmes nous respecter et alors pas certains, mais nous respecter tous critères yo, et non seulement nous respecter tous critères yo, mais histoire dans son histoire unique. Et que Jean nous raconter l'histoire là, nous pas juste raconter l'histoire en façon pour nous faire mon plaisir, mais nous raconter l'histoire là en façon pour nous éduquer et mon qui venir tout pour yo content, pour yo garder, pour y a aimer garder tête, y a aimer garder Jean yo danser, Jean yo kilti ra bambou et y a content pour yo ça. Donc me penser tout le monde qui a fait déplacement, qui vient pour faire déplacement, yo n'a pas même commander yo. Sortir en groupe 20, groupe 30, groupe 50, relais 11 amis, on coworker, on monde qui pas même ça me souhaité c'est faire un monde qui pas haïtien, venir ouais on bagaille pour y aller parler pour nous. Parce que nous fait déjà, nous-mêmes on prend fierté nous en fait yo parler pour nous. Parce que yo gagne longtemps que ça y attendait, ça y après, c'est des bagailles qui pas fait nous qui pas fait au plaisir et qui pas fait nous plaisir non plus. Donc fois ça, nous faisons bagaille côté que un pile monde capable bouel et un pile monde capable parler pour nous, ça nous pas même besoin parler peut-être nous pas j'ai mon dit excusez l'expression mais puis à faire jolie pour
c'est deux langues c'est créole. Okay.
Les créoles, les gains créoles, c'est plus en créole, mais les gains français et anglais.
Okay.
Donc chaque on a tout on a besoin.
Two follow-up quick questions, and this is for Greg or Ravens. Knowing the sensitivity of the subject and what transpired, and there's so many parts to this. Are there any security concerns for you guys?
Let me say no.
Okay.
Let me say no parce que même avec tout haïtien, we ask questions. Who killed the president?
Correct.
And there's another thing. Whether you like the president or you don't like it, or you don't like him, so he was the Haitian president. C'est président tout haïtien.
Et son président vraiment que nous avons dit et qui mourit sans on t'y mouche pas
de façon tragique.
Oui, de façon
tragique. Qui est même un monde qui vient battre avant la caillou, monsieur quoi faire soit font ballon coup de roche bon font coup d'assiette derrière, ballon coup qui est dans tête li. Artiste pour défendre. Et même on barrière pas crasé. Donc il paraît strange, moi je pense que tout le monde est d'accord avec nous son point que président pas doit mourir dans condition ça, il pas doit assassiner dans condition ça. Et non seulement dans condition ça, mais c'est gens représentés là. Je pas connais si nous avons chance pour photo, c'est gens représentés là. Moi c'est humainement c'est pour bagage qui était belle pour dire ouais.
Yes, exactement.
Et nous nous fait et puis jusqu'à présent et puis nous grand pile monde qui est à l'aise là-dedans. Nous-mêmes ça nous fait c'est que nous dit OK, plus jamais ça pas doit arriver encore. Il faut que jeunesse là prend décision pour leur voter ou bien leur choisir pour choisir tête frette pour y comprendre que ça a faire c'est un devoir citoyen et l'idée et avenir pays a bien-être dépend de eux même pas de l'autre monde. Donc tout ça c'est message qui passait en dedans mon vie.
So therefore je me dit que movie ça son movie vraiment qui a essayé de répondre aux gros questions qui a tué le président. Et puis, en même temps, dans le movie, il y a des messages qui passent.
Messages passés, nous proposer. Nous pas justement faire un movie et puis nous pour tout le monde background. Mais nous, son movie, l'on fin garder, le premier bagage là, c'est que, a toujours un bagage qu'on pas saisi. Ou après retourner pour le garder encore. C'est ça que fait que je dis, mon yo, dans le week-end flag day là, sorti pour nous regarder. Week-end flag day. D'ailleurs, c'est week-end pas nous lié. Donc, on montrer le monde que ça nous saisit, nous prend, il revient aux deux doigts. Et je pense que le week-end flag day là a tellement décisif pour nous, c'est les mêmes qui parlent dit, est-ce que le film n'a pas arrêté dans le cinéma?
Définitivement.
Donc, si nous voulons que Haïti continue à briller dans figure le monde, et sorti week-end en groupe, on dit ça en groupe de 20, 30, 40, 60, et puis pour nous le supporter. Machadra pour nous, pas oublier, machadra pour nous, machati à tibaï bleu, rouge, nous, pas connaît, faire belle, et puis faire un pile photo, tag July 7 movie et n'a posté toute photo tout le monde qui allait n'a bien des un pile groupe monde qui a pris photo yo et un tag tout le monde et puis n'a posté photo yo parce que ça c'est un mouvement et nous fait pour culture il y en a plus belle bagarre qui gagne c'est parce que c'est nous qui racontons l'histoire non c'est pas l'autre monde qui raconte l'histoire pour nous donc nous fait Jean nous dit dans slogan for us and by us.
Greg, mon cher femme du congratulations, very good. Ça fait moi même movie ça me t'a aimé le passer tout c'est parce que moi-même premièrement j'ai envie derrière ça parce que m't'a aimé là pour me joindre au monde font un movie sur indépendance d'Haïti.
Just coming.
Voilà.
That one mon cher, ok. If it's coming, parce que moi-même, c'est ça m'a fait depuis longtemps, parce que son histoire qui pas jamais vraiment bail. Vous comprenez? Et son histoire, son seule fois le fait, et c'est nous qui fait. Vous comprenez?
Oui.
So it's coming, get back sur vous là, parce que.
Non, son gros bardi là, parce que un projet comme ça, pour l'évolution haïtienne, son projet pour aller pour bien faire, son bail talent $100 millions. So, pour monde qui investit son bail comme ça, faut nous montrer que nous même dans culture nous supporter bagarre nous faire parce que pour monde font bagarre pour révolution haïtienne. Surtout que son directeur haïtien, faut un acteur haïtien, faut un producteur haïtien qui comprenne et qui a bien dit l'histoire là. So ça fait événement qui a passé dans le week-end ça, c'est ça qui fait bien important parce que si nous bien supporter, nous gain chiffre dans le box office là, we have data to prove it. Mais même l'aime praler là vendredi dans le cinéma moi même m'a petit fresco, m'a petit pistache moi m'a
C'est ça me demande where are you going to be? Where are you going to be, Greg?
At the end.
But no, I'm in where? What city?
And it's in Lawrenceville.
You're going to be here. Okay, so you're going to be here as well. Okay.
Georgia?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So you're going to be here. Okay, good. That's good. We'll do the meet and greet.
Make sure que nous supporter quand même parce que en fin de compte nous tout en pile monde content de parler de movie nous ouais bel grand et red carpet côté fin il y a quelques semaines de ça et puis il y a tenu parce que bien content que nous dans tout AMC et movie theaters et n'a dit mon yo à supporter vendredi soir 7:00 mettre bagaille haïtienne sous nous.
Yeah.
You know? Bon groupe, j'aime se dire là.
Pas groupe de 20, groupe de 30, mais les familles, mais les amis, mais nos coworkers. Parce que l'important pour ces, j'aime dire, nous tellement parler de tête, non?
Yes.
Nous tellement parler de tête, non? So now, on mène les gens pour nous parler pour nous. Mais nos coworkers, et m'a connaît, Latina, ou Latino, et blanc, caucasian, whatever, n'importe ça dire. Mais maintenant, là, on finit de garder qu'on a parlé pour nous. Qu'on a croisé nous, on a fait border, et puis on parle pour nous. Parce que l'important, parce que staff nous connaît ça, et m'a profité de l'espace ça pour un shout-out spécial pour une actrice qui vraiment, même my Haitian Viola Davis, qui c'est Tico Armand, qui sont acteurs tête chargée.
She's a beast. She's a beast.
Definitely. and
Queen Beast.
Exact. Nous gagnons Eddie François qui c'est un monde qui passe de présentation, qui c'est un pigo et samba qui dans musique roots haïtien et nous gagnons Kyle Jean-Baptiste et ensemble avec Fenel Laosilière qui joue dans au moins 12 à 14 films. Et nous avons Paul Henry artiste qui c'est bon des sommités dans le monde cadre de films que ce soit en Haïti ou à l'étranger. Donc c'est vraiment on casse un coup qui vraiment varié que un réalisateur nous comme le Captain Robinson Lovens prend et puis l'a dirigé. Donc et pour nous tourner sur sortie dire sur film indépendance là, I think Robinson got you. Don't worry. Robinson got you. Et quand il y a là pour l'instant ça nous fait c'est sorti et le monde nous sorti en pile, le ça n'a blanc après que et nous gagnons un market qui est vraiment intéressant et que le cas investi. Parce que si nous-mêmes nous pas sortis, pour nous plein cinéma, pour nous demander jusqu'à ce que nous finissons par réaliser, nous avons nos 100 salles, nous avons l'autre 100 salles encore, l'autre 300, l'autre 500 salles. Donc, et si nous pas fait ça, donc, c'est laver mes sujets à terre. Nous avons bouqué en vie, oui, ça encore, nous ne sommes pas capables. Mais si nous sortis, et pas pile, et pas paquet, pas bonne, donc, je suis que c'est possible.
Est-ce que, question ça, c'est pour peut-être Greg ou bien qui est-ce qui a répondu. Mon vie, ça que nous sortis, est-ce que c'est mon vie qui est vraiment indépendant que nous prenons, que nous faisons pour nous, ou bien nous faisons en collaboration, ou bien avec permission, madame, ancien président?
You can answer, Greg.
No, that question, Robinson, director and writer, they probably take a réponse ça. Because moi-même c'est Samia c'est distributeur. Because part of my role is basically like when there's a title, my job is to find ways to put it out globally for people to watch it. But it passes all the requirements, all the QC requirements. So tout bagay légalement papier by ça, il passe tout bagay pour nous caler cinéma. So to answer your question, if it passes all the QCs, then I would say yes, because but I would let the director to answer all the creative decisions and what went on. That would be him to answer that.
Ok, Nabdi Mounio, au minute, Nabdi Mounio qui a une question tout. Nous carrelez nous dans 678-397-1517. 678-397-1517 si nous avons une question. D'accord, vas-y.
Yeah, alors, ça me dit c'est que je pense que si en fait, par quoi nous besoin vraiment aval et yon membre dans famille là pour te rendre hommage à président qui lâchement assassiné. Mais c'est ça que fait nous faire le tour avec un pile tact, nous faire avec un pile respect pour ne pas blesser personne monde. Ça c'est premier bagage. Et de deux, il y a un bagage que le réalisateur a te prendre le soin pour te faire avant que il te tourne film là, il fait au moins 2 à 3 mois à Haïti à faire recherche sur ancien président. Donc et dans la recherche qu'il fait sur ancien président, il y a des bagages qu'il prend, il y a des bagages qu'il pas prend parce que c'est trop personnel, il pas prendre. Donc mais c'est ça me dit en gros, mais nous plus t'es plus chita sur rendre hommage bien mérité à président et bail aussi des conseils et proposer des bagages pour gens de problèmes ça va pas répéter encore.
OK, c'est bien. Vous t'avez ajouté ton bagage?
Non. C'est une question.
Est-ce que movie, est-ce que qu'on y a la mon a besoin de réponse à faire movie ou bien parle qu'on deuxième July 7?
C'est des réponses. Mais c'est des réponses. Réponse quand n'a pas réponse qu'on souhaitait.
OK.
Ouais, mais des réponses parce que moi me dis si moi a parlé ensemble avant ou dit que il y a un problème. OK. On dit qui problème gain. On dit brother depuis matin et ou même problème caille par exemple. On dit là soit bon ou bien bon travail. Right? Ou bien vous rencontrez l'autre monde. Donc c'est plusieurs types de réponses que nous cabaye. Moi je pense nous-mêmes dans niveau ça, nous ba pile réponse et ces réponses nous ba aussi des réponses qui vraiment utile pays. C'est vraiment réponse qui utile pays et ces réponses côté que jeunesse là a tiré des leçons pour comprendre que nous gain partition pas pour me jouer parce que si me pas jouer sont l'autre monde qui fait le problème parce que trop longtemps nous chita n'a accusé l'autre et puis nous pas jouer participation par nous même Jean président américain qui dit pas mal des pays ça fait pour mais c'est ça ou même ou qu'a fait pour pays donc nous retourner ensemble avec même et logique là pour dire jeune yo il pas suffit pour plaigner. L'on plein c'est vrai mon tando il a porter correction mais ou même le ou agir ou mettre mais on en pas là donc les plus bon c'est ça fait nous-mêmes nous mettre nous en pas là et puis nous porter projet ça va et puis pour nous servir d'exemple.
Bon, mon cher.
So just one quick question before we end, because the time has arrived. I'm curious to know, as a Haitian actor, do you have one person that inspired you? Who was that one person? One or two? Just that inspired you to actually.
Moi qui inspire, c'est Jésus, premièrement, et deuxième personnage là. Il y a deux personnages qui pas mettre dans la même catégorie, mais c'est des gens des personnages qui vraiment importants pour moi.
Yes.
Il y en a aussi Christophe, l'autre là c'est Dottie Bookman.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Good job.
OK, merci.
Okay.
Et Greg, et Nabdou, merci encore parce que vous êtes passé sous Meli Melo. Bien content que nous passions sous Meli Melo jeudi à là. J'ai souhaité que Movie a fait un succès vendredi. Encore on a dit tout le monde que Movie a un pile AMC Theater qui n'a côtoyé, juste entre lui, entre zip code là, qui Movie entre zip code côtoyé à l'abdio exactement qui côté Movie a joué. Pour mon Georgia yo, moi-même, Meli Melo, avec deux invités ça yo, il y a là un showing qui est à 7 p.m. C'est ça?
Yeah, on a un Sugarloaf, Lawrenceville. Et puis l'autre côté pour moi qui plus loin yo aller dans Barrett Common qui dans Kennesaw. Donc c'est pas trop loin c'est à moins qui dans Highway et dans zone là donc yo Kennesaw et puis vraiment à enjoy yo regarder pas bien encore une fois mais les familles mais les amis surtout mais inviter au moins deux étrangers mais avant parce que le film l'a sous-titré en anglais. Il a compris et le ça il a fini par réaliser que Haïti pas seulement ça y attendait mais on l'autre bagaille tout. Donc nous avons pour offrir.
OK. CS nous avons sur Zoom correct?
No, she's
okay. She's not okay. Yeah. So sur ce closing Madame, would you like to close the show for us?
I would just say, in light of this movie, that this is our opportunity to shine. This is our opportunity to show the world how we support each other. And the dog karma that we have to stop it. And this is our time to go out in force and support this film, support each other, and make us shine. And, we are better than this. So we need to go out in force and come out. Bring friends, bring your whole crew, and let's go. Let's do this.
Yes, let's do it, Atlanta.
On a dit tout le monde bonsoir et pas oublier tout semaine ça un festival dans Georgia.
He's going to talk about it. Maybe.
Okay, she is online. Okay.
Yeah, so we're ending now. Thank you very much, Mr. Jean-Baptiste.
Thank you. Non, mais vraiment apprécier le fait que nous t'ayons invité, qu'invité me vienne parler de July 7 et m'espérer que moi vraiment il y a pas de chance pour il y a peut-être une chance pour y représenter pays encore une fois aller ensemble pour nous bailler pays pour nous porter participation par nous et on pense que Grégory fait participer là Miss Robinson fait participer là et Robinson Lovens fait partie par là tout le monde qui dans cours on fait partie par eux et le monde qui écrit film dans acteur fait partie par eux donc c'était nous-mêmes pour nous supporter aller et li pas cher c'est même prix ou payer cinéma pour regarder n'importe quel film c'est même prix on va regarder donc aller enjoy nous dans le cinéma et aller à popcorn nous aller supporter Haïti supporter tête nous supporter pays nous donc et me penser nous va faire pour nous faire pour pays et pour culture là.
Merci beaucoup tout le monde.
Yes, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Yes, a very short break for 1 minute.
Yes. We'll be right back.
Okay, merci Greg. D'accord.
Stand down!
Martine, montez!
René son jeune garçon qui a un plan en Haïti pour le faire maintenant.
René, sous ça de kounya là, mon bon régime banan.
Combien ka ou foué? Parlez fort pour moun yo tando.
15 pi.
Loyo balé! Moi pas ka connait après bon Dieu. Qui a un monde qui a plus pouvoir que moi dans le pays ça.
moi-même qui président.
Parce que, et bon Dieu le dit,
nous pas les rater. Vois ça.
Nous assassiner président.
Fan de la musique haïtienne, sit back and relax. Meli Melo Show a informé de tout ça qu'a fait dans Etchemaïla. Music, analyse, actualité, promotion, interview, spotlight, collaboration, live performance, fan Q&A, history, mainstream. Get all that
on Meli Melo Atlanta Show.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We have just a few minutes left, but we wanted just to give Maggie Jean just a few minutes to talk about this excellent Flag Day event that's happening on Sunday. So Maggie, we are really short for time, so I want you to wrap it up. But give us the headlines, and yes, yours truly will be emceeing the event. So I'm excited, but go ahead. I'm going to give you the floor.
Okay. So we are extremely excited about May 18th, Haitian Flag Day at Forest Park. It's going to be at the Star Park Amphitheater. And when I tell you we are expecting a huge crowd, the biggest crowd we've ever had in life. We're making history, not only with this movie that we're talking about with July 7th, but we're also making history with the Chamber of Commerce. We have over 700 people right now that has RSVP'd for this event. We are going to celebrate. We're going to have a good time. We have our host, of course, is yours truly. We got Sabine Apollon. We also have Ralph Vier that's also going to be the host. So we have great hosts that's going to be there. We have Junior Design that is over Bougie Mix. Bougie Mix is going to be performing for us. That's our headliner. But we also have some local artists by the name of Jeffty Blanc. We also have the Haitian Mima. We are going to have hula hooping for the kids. We have tug of war. We heard what the people wanted. They wanted stuff for the kids. We have stuff for the kids. We have 3 parks that's there. It's just going to be a really, really good time. We're looking forward to doing some parades there. As far as food is concerned, we're definitely going to have some Haitian food. I'm trying to give you everything right now.
Yes, but we're starting at 2, right? So they need to be there on time at 2 o'clock and promptly finishing. And it's free of charge. Let's be clear. This is free of charge. So there's no excuse that you can't afford it, that you didn't get paid, all of that. So come in full force and just come and have a good time.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely come and have a good time. Make sure, because it is outdoors, tout le monde si nou gen, ti drap pou nou mette à terre, pote drap ensemble avec nous, pote parapluie pour soleil là, pote chaise pour nous ka relax nous, pour nous ka, enjoy tout temps na passe là. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a great time. Nou gen bon manger pour nous gen glo kokoye, nou gen cremas, nou gen diri, nou gen Pablo di legume, but griot, everything, n'importe ça qu'a pensé nous manger haïtien kap la. So n'a fait tout le monde content. So come enjoy. Even though the park is free, li gratis pour ka rentrer, mais sou besoin enjoy you, faut porter ti bay dans pocket ou pas venir sans corps.
That's right. There's going to be vendors and everybody. So
exactly. So gen moun ki gen bel bagay pou nou vendre mamba haïtien, tout qualité bagay. Oh my gosh. Tout ça nous besoin.
All right, we're wrapping up. Yes. Point blank, be there or be square, 2 o'clock on Sunday on the 18th.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, Maggie. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you on May 18th.
All right.
Eh bien, bon, on a dit tout le monde, c'était Meli Melo là, et on a dit merci à tout invité nous te gagné, merci Sabine, merci Martine, et rendez-vous encore, c'est lundi prochain, 6h, on a salué CEO, ils font bon travail, qui est bien au courant de tout ça qui a passé, nous souhaitons monsieur absentir mieux lundi prochain, ça c'était que moi, monsieur Fabrice Marseille, et en tout cas, passons bonne nuit tout le monde. Bonne semaine. À la prochaine. Bonne fête du drapeau. Meli Melo lié. Yes. See.
Fan de la musique haïtienne, sit back and relax. Meli Melo Show a informé de tout ça qu'a fait dans HMI là. Music, analyse, actualité, promotion, interview, spotlight, collaboration, live performance, fan Q&A, history, mainstream. Get all that
on Meli Melo Atlanta Show.